welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm showing you a mini fabric haul from a recent trip to a really cool store in Vancouver, Canada. While on a trip to that city, I found a local nonprofit fabric shop that only sells donated fabrics. These fabrics may have been heading to the trash pile if not for this store, so their mission is very important. Inside, I found a wide selection from quilting cottons, knits, natural fibers, and even a section that they call fancy fabrics, as well as some notions and used patterns. Every piece was individually bundled and priced in terms of meters, but I believe you could ask for a smaller cut if desired. They had a clearance section, which I made a beeline straight to. If you're ever in Vancouver someday and it happens to be one of the 2 days per week that they are open to the public, I recommend you stop by. Now on to the haul. Let's go through some of the fabrics that I picked up at Our Social Fabric. First, I picked up a couple of pieces of cotton hoodie fabric because I want to make something with this kind of fleece or hoodie material. I have a little piece of tie-dye hoodie material that I got from another fabric store, and maybe with this gray piece as well as this looks like black or really deep navy, I can do like a patchwork thing. And so this was originally $5 or $7.50 per meter. At 50% off and 0.8 meters, it was half off of $5.65, and this was $1.90 and half off of that. So all these are in metric. I should be better at converting that into yards, but I'm not. So hopefully that's enough for maybe a hoodie or something like that. Then I picked up these two kind of brownish fabrics. This one says it's silk. Feels a little hard. I don't know what silk is supposed to feel like, but I figured why not pick up a piece of silk. I'm thinking I could use it for a lining for a top. I wanted a brown fabric to maybe match my skin tone a little bit. This is a little dark, but it could be something nice. So this was 60 centimeters by 160, 140 centimeters, $4 at 50% off. Let's see how big this is. So this is basically just a remnant maybe from a bolt, and even here you see a little piece that was cut off. Yeah, it's just a little piece. I'm thinking I could use it maybe as a lining for a bralette or like a small top. That should be enough fabric for that. And then I got this other brown fabric that just says lining. And this was $6, and this is 2 meters, so this should be more in case I wanted to make something a little bigger. This feels a little more silkier than the silk, so sometimes when it just says lining or it just says like knit or woven, they said that they don't necessarily know the actual contents of the fabric, so they don't put it on there. So you have to kind of decide for yourself what it is. And so I got this lining piece and this brown silk piece. Then I got this piece. So ever since I saw this bralette pattern being advertised on Instagram using sheer fabric that had like squiggly lines on it, I've wanted something like that. And so when I saw this, I thought this could be what I make that bralette out of. So it's like a sheer fabric, but it has red circles on them, and I don't know what you call it, but it feels like felt. So what I want to do is make that bralette and use an underlining fabric, maybe the silk, and just cut the pattern pieces, sew them together so they'll be one piece, and then sew the bralette like that. So this just says fancy cut, so I don't know what the fabric is. It was $2.50, and then it was 50% off. they had a technical section. So technical fabric was more like you can get mesh fabric or fabric with different textures there. So I got this little piece. This was 66 by 140 centimeters, or 66 by 40, so a very small piece. But I don't know. I picked it up. It was only $1.25. I could find some use for it. Maybe another crop top or bralette. I'm going to be cropped out this summer, apparently, but it looks really nice. I like the color and the texture of it. Then I picked up this. This is a woven, so it doesn't necessarily say what the contents are, but this was almost 3 meters, which is almost 3 yards, and that was at $3 a meter at 50% off. So I figured this would be really nice. It feels really like substantial. So something like a dress, I think I can make out of this. And it's white, but it's not see-through at all. So it wouldn't need a lining or anything like that. And it feels pretty okay. Plus I like the texture of it. So if I can make like a really nice, maybe straight cut dress, I think that would be super nice. And then the last piece of fabric I picked up was this, and I just love the colors of this and the pattern. Again, a woven, so the fabric is not specified, at $5 a meter before the discount. And I'm going to open it up just to look at it. So this is the pattern. And again, I'm thinking if I have enough, maybe a dress or even a skirt or maybe a jacket. I mean, the possibilities are not endless because I only have but so much, but I'm really liking this. Let's look at the thickness of it. This one's a little thinner than the white one. It feels a little more papery, but it's not see-through. So, I don't know. Either a top or a bottom, or a jacket. Something like that. I'll look in my patterns to see, what I think this could go with. So yeah, that was me checking out this fabric store, checking out the discount section of the fabric store. They had, of course, non-discounted fabrics with a lot more variety, more knits, a lot of quilting cotton, a lot of spandex type fabrics. I didn't see any linens. They had some wool, a little bit of silk, but not a lot of other kind of natural fibers that I would want to see. And then they had a section called fancy, so if you wanted a little more fancy, you can get some of that. In addition to the fabrics, I got an assortment of zippers. So they had zippers, 10 for $2 Canadian. And then I got this cording because I don't really see cording like this a lot. And there was one pattern that calls for cording like this. So this is blue, thick cording, maybe like a quarter of an inch or something. $2 for 3 meters long. So I got 2 of those. And then they had a lot of older patterns. A lot of the clothing patterns looked open, so I wasn't really interested in picking up something that maybe had missing pieces. But they did have a few patterns for quilts and designs for machine applique. So I picked this up. I want to learn how to do applique, and so I thought this might be something that could help me do that. The title is Safari, so apparently animals you might see out in the wild. So I'm interested in seeing how that goes. And then this one, I think this is for a quilt, and I like turtles. I am a terp, so I thought this would be super cute. This could be like a blanket for a kid or for me. I think that's really nice. This might be more of an advanced project, but anyway, that was my haul. I would definitely recommend anyone in that area or visiting to go check it out and let me know what you find.